Hello, my name is Nancy from Nancy's Nifty Notes. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And I realized this afternoon that the mystery stamping session I hosted this morning, the 9th of October 2021, I failed to record it. So I'm recording this for those of you who like to follow along by video. You can also click on the link to download the supply list and list the printout of all of the clues, so you don't have to scribble them down here. But if you want to follow along with the video, you're welcome to, and I will show you my creations at the end of each card's clues. So you should have your supplies all prepared. When I say bold image stamps, I mean ones that aren't just outlines, because you want the color to show through. Although I have seen people do this one with outline stamps in different colors, and it is very pretty. So that's not, if you have your heart set on a particular stamp set, give it a try. It's probably going to make something pretty, and if you're not happy in the end, you can always make another card. Okay, so let's get started with clue number 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it off, and I'm going to show it here for a while, but not take as long as I would if people were actually crafting along. You can just go ahead and pause the video and then restart it when you're ready to move to the next clue. So clue number 1, stamp your sentiment on the basic white layer that measures 3 by 6.5 centimeters or 1 1/4 by 2.5 inches. Okay, pause the video if you're creating step by step, and then start it when you're ready to move on. Clue number 2. On the 2 remaining basic white layers, stamp all over with image stamps in a variety of colors. Fill the layers completely. So the hint that I had for this step was when I often when I'm filling in a page to make my own designer series paper, I stamp the biggest images first and then fill in with smaller and smaller ones. This one you might want to start on one side and fill everything in and keep moving on, because it might be too hard. The pieces are small enough, it might be too hard to come back and fill in. So think about that. Here is clue number 3. Take the basic white sentiment layer and stamp around the sentiment using just the edges of your image stamps in a variety of colors. So you're going to make it look like the other 2 pieces that you just stamped, but this time with that sentiment in the middle. Okay. Clue 4, adhere all of the stamped basic white layers to the basic black layers with flat adhesive. By flat adhesive, I mean Stamp and Seal Plus, or my favorite, the multi-purpose liquid glue. Okay, clue number 5, add the largest layer to the basic white thick card base with flat adhesive. Clue number 6, add the square stamped and matted layer to the left side of your card front with dimensionals. Your card can be landscape or portrait, so you figure out how you want it to be oriented. Clue number 7. Add the sentiment layer to the card front by adding a dimensional on one side and flat adhesive on the other side, so that it overlaps that square layer that you added with dimensionals. there is the final clue for card number 1. Clue 8, add embellishments. Okay, so go ahead and pause this until your card is finished. And now I will show you the cards I made for this layout. This is the first one I made. This uses tidings and trimmings out of the annual catalog. The sentiment is out of poinsettia petals, but the rest of it is all tidings and trimmings. And then I like to make multiples. So I made another one. This uses, what is it called? Forever Fern? Yes, Forever Fern. And then I wanted to do one that was vertical, so I did another one with Forever Fern. I will go this way. Now you can see all of them. So you can see, depending on how you orient it, you can do a couple different things. There you go. And now we'll work through card 2. So again, you should have your supply list all ready to go. Get all your pieces ready. And here's clue number 1. Adhere the 10 by 14.4 centimeter or 4 by 5 1/4 inch colored cardstock to the card base with flat adhesive. And again, that's multi-purpose liquid glue or Stamp and Seal Plus, tear and tape, anything that makes it lie flat. Clue number 2, add the designer series paper to the card front with flat adhesive. Clue number 3, stamp a sentiment in the center of the 6 by 8.5 centimeter or 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch basic white layer with ink that coordinates with either the DSP or the cardstock. Remember, I'm just going through all these clues. You go ahead and pause the video until you're ready to move on to the next one. Clue number 4, adhere the stamped basic white layer to the colored cardstock that measures 6.5 by 9 centimeters or 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So you're just going to mat your sentiment layer. Clue number 5, add that matted sentiment layer to the center of the card front with dimensionals. So again, this is where you're going to be choosing whether your card's going to be landscape or portrait. Clue 6, use scraps of basic white and stamp 1 or 2 images. Color them in if needed. You can do more if you want to. Just think about how you're going to put them on your card front. Because what you're going to do in clue number 7 is use dies, punches, and or snips to cut out your images. If you wanted to cut images from designer series paper and not stamp and color, that's fine too. That you don't have to stamp. Now clue number 8, add the cutout images to the card with adhesive. If they're touching the sentiment layer, use flat adhesive on one side and dimensionals on another so that your layers are balanced. Because remember, you put your sentiment on with dimensionals. Clue number 9, add a bow or embellishments or both to complete the look of your card. And finally, Clue number 10, add the remaining basic white piece to the inside of your card with flat adhesive. You can go ahead and decorate it with stamps or designer series paper or whatever you want as well. So that's the second card, and I will show you my examples. So I did that one. And again, I like to do multiples. So I did one also in landscape, portrait landscape, and then I did another one in landscape. So those are my 3 examples of card number 2. Oh, and for the inside, I did a few more die cut images. And on these 2, I just did strips of extra designer series paper from when I cut these rectangles. So that is my mystery stamping for October. I have asked participants to go to my Nancy's Nifty Notes Facebook page and upload their creations so you can see them there. I would love to see what you've created. Feel free to post them on that Facebook page or email them to me at nancy@nancysniftynotes.com, and I would just love to see them, and thank you for playing along. I will try to remember to actually turn on the recording for the next one of these that I host. As I said during the session this morning, November could be kind of iffy. We've got a Stampin' Up! Company-wide event the first weekend in November, and I'm just going to look and see where I can fit in a mystery stamping in November. So thanks for joining me with this one, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.